The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development, with a platform and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives. At The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. These Best You EXPO talks are recorded in front of a live audience in a live event. We highly recommend that you focus on the message. As they say, what you focus on expands. Enjoy. Eric Ho. Eric Ho is a college dropout at the age of 19 who today has been invited as a $1 million investor on the reality television series Shark Tank. During his talk, Eric will be sharing with you the 3 keys that have allowed him to achieve massive success across multiple industries. Eric has spoke at several of our events, and he comes across as a very cool individual. Very cool, very collected, very knowledgeable, very charismatic. So he's got some great insights. He has a fantastic story. He walks his talk. So enjoy it. You will definitely learn something from Eric. Eric's talk is titled College Dropout to $1 Million Shark Tank Investor. Enjoy.
Eric Ho is a renowned international speaker, serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, and philanthropist. Eric travels the world and inspires people to live life to their highest potential. He has shared the stage with world-class leaders such as Richard Branson and James Caan, and has shared his teachings with thousands of individuals around the world. From a young age, Eric was determined to succeed. Never the academic type, Eric dropped out of college at the age of 19 and found himself stuck working 100-hour weeks in a burger van. Feeling lost, Eric applied his entrepreneurial passion and through a lot of hard work accomplished his dream of creating a global QSR franchise. Within 5 years, Eric set up multiple successful businesses and became financially free by the age of 24. With various streams of passive income, supercars, dream houses and other luxuries, Eric was living what seemed to be the perfect life. It was not long after that Eric fell into deep depression, searching for the meaning of life. During a trip to Africa, Eric found his purpose and drive through helping those in need. He founded Age Giving in 2010 and built his own orphanage in Kenya, which today provides home and education for over 300 orphans. Eric's passion for helping others inspired him to share his business experience and knowledge. He began holding motivational seminars and has become a celebrity speaker. He founded H Academy, an inspirational platform that reaches and educates thousands of people around the world. Today, Eric teaches the importance of balance between wealth and happiness. Having gone through his own spiritual path and growth journey, Eric talks about his understanding of modern-day spirituality, where balance of self-realization, self-mastery, and wealth can coexist. Eric is a true life example that living a heart-centered life and generating wealth through serving others can be achieved. Eric has expanded to an exciting and diverse portfolio of businesses, from an international swimming academy to a high-end fashion label, and is always looking for the next opportunity to invest and serve more people. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Ho.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Ho! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really great to be here at the Best You EXPO, and a privilege to be serving on the final spot today. You know, I always say at a lot of these events, they always save the best till last. What do you think? Some of you are not so sure. Like, who's this dude, right? Guys, I just want to, this session, we've got a pretty short session, I would say. But in this session, I want to give you practical tools that you can take away and use. But before I do that, can I just ask, how many of you in this room are business owners? You have a business already? Okay. How many of you in this room are looking to start a business? Okay, and some of you just not sure. Business, not sure, don't know. I just, before when Hillary was up here, By the way, wasn't she amazing? Can we give her a big round of applause, please? You know, before when she was here, I was really, really relieved when somebody asked about the investments in Dragon's Den. Because when I was asked to go on anybody heard of Shark Tank before? Right? So Shark Tank, for those of you who don't know, is the American version of Dragon's Den, right? So when they asked me to go on Shark Tank, I was like, oh, right, that's really, really cool. Get plenty of exposure, get to go on TV. And then I was asking a lot of questions to actually a lot of existing sharks out in America. And they were saying to me, I said, how do the investments usually go? And they said, don't be silly, Eric. You can't make money from investing in those businesses. And I said, what? They said, well, look at it this way, right? Most businesses fail. Is everybody aware of that, by the way, in this room? Right? In fact, they say 50% fail within the first year. 75% fail within the first 3 years. So he's like, so I'm thinking, okay, so there's a minimum requirement. I need to invest into businesses on Shark Tank. Basically, I can't just say, yes, I'll go on the TV show, but I'm not going to invest in anything. So I can't just sit there and keep saying no to all the businesses and then bringing the money in. So I was thinking, okay, so I need to invest this big amount of money, and I know that it's all going to go down the drain. So why would I do it? Anybody have any idea? Why would I still say yes to doing it? Hey? Sorry? To help? Yes, kind of. Could do. Helping people is always nice, but then when you are sacrificing your own, money or your own time to, just throwing it away and there's nothing coming back, it's not the most sustainable way to do it, right? The reason I still said yes to it is because there's 35 million broadcasting, right? Think about that for a second. That's 35 million people will have their eyeballs on me. Now, do you think that would make a difference to my business, yes or no? Guys, okay, right, we're going to do this. It's come to the last session, right? And I know you guys, maybe you've had a really long day, and you guys are really tired right now. But one thing that actually I was speaking to Mac about this before, he was saying that one thing with winners is winners run through the finish line. How many of you believe in that, by the way? Raise your hands. Say yes. Yes. Okay. If we can have a little bit of interaction, a little bit of energy from you, then I can give you a little bit more energy too, and then we can make this session a little bit more exciting. Would that be cool? Say yes? Yes. Nice. Okay, we'll see how long you can keep that up for. Yeah? So in this session, I want to share with you how I managed to get myself all the way to Shark Tank now. Okay? Because a lot of people look at me today, they think, oh, well, Eric, it's easy for you. You built several businesses, made millions of pounds, and export business, franchise business, and you've spoken on all these big stages. It's easy for you. But what I want to share with you in this session is that every single one of you can do exactly what I did too. Because I was a college dropout at the age 19, right? I was never the academic type. Anybody like me? Not so the academic type, right? I was the quiet boy who used to sit in the corner of the classroom, afraid to put my hand up. That was me all the way through school. I dropped out of college at 19 because I couldn't do it. I didn't know why I was there. So I was working in fun fairs, selling burgers at fun fairs. Anybody been to Reading Festival or Leeds Festival? Any festivals? Yeah? So I was one of those selling burgers. I probably served you before, selling you a burger. And going from there, I started my first business and building the businesses up. And after building the businesses, people started asking me, hey, Eric, can you speak at these shows? And I was like, you want me to speak on these shows? Are you sure? Because I can't do this public speaking thing. And I remember, by the way, can I just ask a question? Does anybody in this room have a fear of public speaking? Right. Usually it's most of you. Because I don't know if you're aware, but they say public speaking is the #1 fear in the world. Like greater than death. Most people would say, no, just kill me, please. I don't want to get on stage. And so I had a big fear of public speaking. I was a shy boy. So when I was first asked, I remember I used to stand behind this thing because I would feel safe behind this. At least I've got something to protect me. And I remember holding my script that I had recited time and time again. My first show. I walked up, and even before I walked up on stage, I was literally shitting myself. I said to my best friend at the time, I said, how about you go up, Tommy, and you do it instead? He said, no, bro, you practice so many times, you'll be okay. And so I went up here, and I was like this. And then I was like this. Anybody ever get these shakes, by the way, when you get on stage? Like this. Then I thought, okay, well, two hands going to help it a little bit to absorb the vibration, but it doesn't because it kind of does this. And I was like trying to read this thing, and it just wasn't working. So I had a really, really clever idea, which wasn't so clever after all. I thought, and some of you may have tried this before, I thought, let's use the body to absorb some of this, shall we? So I pulled it towards myself, and I thought, okay, hold it here, it should be okay. Then I was like this, and I was thinking, this isn't going too well. At the end of my presentation, I thought, my face was red, everything, I came off stage, and then people came up to me and said, Eric, that was so inspirational. I said, really? That was inspirational? They said, yeah, that was really cool. Like, thank you for sharing those things with us. I was like, really? And then after that, I thought, maybe people do want to listen to what I have to share. And by the way, I want to share this with you is to understand this. A lot of the results that most of you want to achieve right now is outside of your comfort zone. We always try different things to get results, but most of the different things we try are within our comfort zone. How many of you would agree with that, yeah? It gets uncomfortable. But understand one thing, if you practice uncomfortable and you keep practicing uncomfortable, uncomfortable becomes comfortable. True or true? Say yes. Nice. Okay, so going from there then, speaking on all these stages, and I've literally been doing this like 3 years. I'm a newbie speaker. And then going on bigger and bigger stages, 5,000 people, Richard Branson, all of this type of stuff. And I was like, wow, this is a crazy journey. Because right now, I don't want you to look at me and think, okay, I'm looking at Shark Tank Shark right now. I'm looking at multi-million pound. I don't want you to think about that. I want you to look at me and know that you're looking at a not very academic, shy boy. I'm just the noodle boy. And today, people come to me, pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars to coach them in business. Think about that as a reality for a second, because why? If I looked back 5 years ago, I would never imagine that I would be doing what I am doing today. I would never imagine that I would be a shark on Shark Tank. But understand one thing, and I want you to get something really, really powerful from this, is that how many of you here have ever watched Steve Jobs' Stanford speech? And he says, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, but you can only connect them looking backwards. A lot of the actions we take today, we may take certain actions. All of you in this room, you have a reason to why you decided to show up today. True or true? Yep, you have a reason. Your reason may be, I wanted to learn more about marketing. Some of you wanted to learn about yoga, right? You all have different reasons. But let me tell you something, and come to the realization that most of the reasons that you think that you are here today for is not the reason to why you are here today. 4 or 5 years ago, I went to an event very, very much like this. And I was sitting in exactly your position. I went to the event to see Richard Branson. He was speaking on day 3. I couldn't make day 3. Day 1, I was there. Day 2, I was there. He didn't show up yet. So I was like, where's Richard Branson? He was speaking on day 3, but that was my best friend's wedding. So I had to miss that slot. But day 1 and day 2 made me realize, there was some speaker on stage said that you all have a message within you. I was sitting there thinking, nah, what message? Nah, I don't think I have a message. I was scared to even network with people, you know? I haven't got a message. He says, trust me one thing, you all have a message within you. But it's just waiting to be, that greatness is waiting to be found. Because society, upbringing, has kind of locked us into this confined box and told us what we can, what we can't do, what's right, what's not right. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Think about it for a second. Everyone as a kid, when we're kids, we go out there, we're really lively, we don't care. We don't have any fear, right? Kids are not brought up with fear. You're not born with fear. Your fear is only there because somebody told you that that's a scary thing. Then suddenly it became your fear. And their doubts became your doubts. And when this person said, you have a message within you, I thought, really? What message? Text message? WhatsApp message? You know, what do you mean? And then he started talking about your pain, the problems you've been through before. You can take that as your message, and people need to hear that message. A lot of people think, a lot of people always ask, they say, how do I get on stage, Eric? How do I do what you do? Because I don't have the credibility. That's what most people say to me. I don't have the credibility. Every single one of you have the credibility. If you were going on stage to share with people, and if you're not a millionaire and you're to share people how to make millions, then that's not a credibility, right? But what is your message? You repeat after me. I am an expert. Every single one of you are an expert. You're an expert at what you know. True or true? You're just not an expert at what you don't know. In the same way, I'm standing here today, you're looking at me as the expert. I'm only an expert at what I know. I'm not an expert at what I don't know. And understand the things that you know. Let me ask you a question. How many of you in this room have ever experienced pain of any sort before? All right? All right. Those of you who aren't raising your hands, you probably lie about other things as well, right? We've all experienced pain in one way, shape, or form before. Now, do you think the pain that you've experienced, that you've overcome, do you think that there may be somebody out there right now who's experiencing that same pain, yes or no? Do you think that they want to know how you got out of that pain, yes or no? So does that make your knowledge, your experience valuable, yes or no? Yes or no, team? Yes, okay. So, understand this. You all have greatness within you. You all have a message, right? But it doesn't mean you need to be a public speaker. I want to share with you today 3